Hey y'all, it's K Divine. I'm not sure who this message is for, but I just wanted to let y'all know, um, wherever you go, whether it be your job, if you are in like a religious group, like if you go to church or something, or you're a part of some social clubs or whatever the case may be, even if it's family, when you're around people, observe, but don't tell people what it is that you know. Don't let people know, because most of the time, whoever watches my channel, you're probably a very observant person. And one thing that I struggled with the most, over time, especially prior to my autism diagnosis, was kind of oversharing with my thoughts on certain things. For example, um, I met my area manager a couple of weeks ago for this new position that I have. And at this point, I had already had some things that I disliked about the job so far. And this is not my job. I don't dislike my job at all. I want to make that clear. I like what I do. I enjoy it, but there's certain aspects and there's certain people that I'm working with currently that I'm like, I see this. I see where this could be a pattern and where it might be going. And I had a list of things that I was like, they need to work on this. But one thing that I've learned over time is like, know your place, and know that sometimes people may ask for your opinion, but they don't really want your opinion. Okay. And some of y'all are too observant. And especially if you're new to a situation, or you're usually kind of like a neutral person, and you start telling people about themselves, people not gonna like that very much. Because you have to understand that for the majority of y'all, like I've been telling y'all, like you're a mirror to people. That's why sometimes people look like they stare at you, they be trying to figure you out, because you're just different than anything that they've ever seen. Like you're not like other people. So people are already kind of like cautious around you because you don't say a lot. So they don't know what it is you know, right? And it's like for me, one thing that I'm getting really good at is just peeping stuff and just putting it in my pocket. I'd be like, noted, noted, put it in my pocket. Because you have to understand, like, especially if you're autistic and you're watching this, or neurodivergent in general, because one thing I'm learning and understanding about neurodivergences is that a lot of us have this strong sense of justice. And so when we don't see that happening in a way that we feel like it should be happening, or when, like, right is right and wrong is wrong, period. There's no if, ands, or buts for me. I don't know about y'all. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Okay. And I'll just use work as an example. Like for me, now I'm not saying that I'm 100% the best employee ever, but I do think that I'm a good employee wherever I've ever worked. I do what I need to do. I always show up. I always notice little things. Like I'm a very detail oriented person. Even if I'm not looking for a leadership position, I oftentimes get kind of pushed towards those things because of my attention to detail. And I'm also a self-starter. Like I don't wait for other people to tell me what to do. Like once I understand how like the system works in the particular group, I'm like, okay, noted. I know that I can come in and do X, Y, and Z. I know that I can come in and do this, and until shift change, I answer to this person, or I ask this person for guidance if I need help on something. Like when I figure all those things out, but I'm a self starter at the end of the day. So I don't need to come in and stand around and be like, so what do you want me to do? No, I just start working. Especially when I'm on the clock. That's just how I feel. Like I'm just one of those people, like if I'm getting paid to be here, I'm gonna do something. Like, I do take breaks, and I text on my phone and stuff, but the majority of the time I'm doing something productive. Even if it's something that I wasn't asked to do. Why? Because it's like, at the end of the day, I care about the people that I work with. I care, like today, for instance, like, I got off at 8. I worked like a 12-hour shift today. A little bit under because I was a little late this morning. But I digress. But I went and did some of the cleaning stuff for one of the guys that's closing tonight, because I'm like, well, why not? Like, I still got 10, 15 minutes on the clock. Might as well go. It's part of my job anyways. Like, it's part of my job, and I'm just one of those people. And you know, I can tell that, just based on the reaction that I've gotten from some people, that they're not used to people doing that. And I've gotten a really positive response, which makes me feel good, because it's like, I know that that's a good thing. Like, I'm not doing it for praise or recognition. I'm doing it because I'm like, this part of the job. Like, you just do the job. You go home. But I can tell, like, I might have a couple people, like, cuz you got to know, like, when you're just naturally on top of it, like, whatever it is that y'all be doing, like, whether it's at a job or whether it's in a group or something, whatever it is that you do, and you do it well, like, and sometimes it's just you as a person, like, no matter what position you're put in, no matter what people put in front of you, like, I like to think of it as you're a jack of all trades, master of none. Like, you literally could go and do anything, and anything that you do, you could do it well. And a lot of people just don't know people like that. And that's intimidating to some people. And some people will not be the type of person who's on top of it like that. And when you come around, especially if you're newer to the scene, they gonna start feeling some type of way about you. Because, and it's not nothing that you did. And you just have to understand, like, that's just them dealing with their own selves. Like, they gotta deal with themselves. And because you can always tell when people are whispering about you. You can always feel the energy when there's, like, it's off and people are like, what the hell's going on? Like, ooh, it feels weird in here. Like, but for the most part, like, you oftentimes are going to get more positive responses from people, because, well, in the right places, I should say. In the right places, you will get more positive responses. If you're getting a lot of negative responses for doing the right thing, you need to get out of there, period. But where I'm trying to go with this is, I'm just letting you know, like, when you start seeing stuff like people being weird, or people kind of being fake, not saying and doing the stuff that they claim they do, you just got to keep it hush, and you just got to keep it moving. You got to keep it moving, okay? And I mean that wholeheartedly. Like, play it safe, as far as, like, be cordial, be kind, do what your job is, do what it is that you need to do in that space. If you are a part of a group and y'all got some stuff that y'all are trying to work out together, do your fair share. But you don't don't let people know what it is that you've noticed, because one thing that I've come to find, especially, like, if you're a really spiritual person, or if you're neurodivergent, you're a really deep thinker. So you see beyond what most people see. You're probably also really intelligent. So your intelligence level, like, you probably have quiet intelligence. Like, you don't have to walk into a room and tell people that you're smart, because you just know what you know, and you know that whatever you don't know, you don't know. And that's the most intelligent thing that you can say, is like, I know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know, and I'm open to learning. Because there are some people who are stuck in their ways, and they believe that they know everything, right? And you're just not like that. And there's a lot of people out here who are so used to being, like, super mediocre in their lives, and, like, compared to you, they're not even mediocre on their best day. next to you. And that's why some people are really just not gonna like you. That's why I said you're a jack of all trades and master of none. And it's a catch 22 being one of those people, because like I said, you do get positive responses from people, but you also get really negative responses from some people, because some people feel like, especially if it's like a people try to, this is when people start creating those fake competitions with you, that it's not spoken but they be trying to outdo you, or they want to seem like they smarter than you, or they're always like they're just secretly competing with you. Like you start doing something so they feel like they got to start, doing weird stuff. They try to get ahead of you. And when you come into contact with those types of people, you got to move out their way. Just move out of their way. Like, because if you start giving them that same energy back, it's just gonna cause problems for you. It's gonna cause problems. So like, just keep it pushing. Like, keep it light and keep it pushing, whatever you do. Because ultimately, like I said, like you can see it. I'm not saying don't be aware of it. I'm not saying don't analyze it, because that's what I do. Because one thing that I'm learning in this new position that I have, even though this is not the store that I'm going to be at, what I am learning is like I can analyze situations that I experience during my day, but I don't keep it with me anymore. Like in my last job, one of the things that I used to do, well, I'll just say all of my jobs that I've had thus far until up until now, is one thing that I did a lot was I overly invested myself with these people, with those people. Like I, became really close friends with my coworkers, telling them my business and things of that nature. I don't do that anymore. Even the ones I like. Like there's a couple people at this store that I'm like, you know what? If they ever ask me to come back to work at this store, I would come back just to work with you because I like how we work together. Like that type of connection. Like I like that. However, I'm not asking these people for their phone numbers and being like, "Oh my god, I can't believe." Cuz like whenever I see them, it's like that's when we spill the tea about what happened on the shift, and then we be comparing notes. You could talk to certain people about the stuff that you peep, but you can't be telling everybody. You can't do that. You got to know where your safe spaces are. And sometimes it's better to just keep certain things unsaid. There's certain things that you don't have to tell people out loud that you've noticed, because ultimately, especially in work arenas, there's always going to be like those lazy people who are fake as hell, and they try to portray themselves to the managers and the bosses or whoever it is that's above them, that they're doing their due diligence every day, but really when the boss isn't looking, they're lazy. They don't really do nothing. They be disappearing. They be doing shit that don't make sense. So when you're around those people, you have to understand, like I said, keep it light. Keep it, and don't be, don't, you gotta be stoic around people. Keep your emotions to yourself. Go emotionless around people, because like what I'm doing is like I'm turning off my emotions at my job. Like I said, like I work in a restaurant, like I work in a kitchen, so it's like it can be stressful. Like today was a long day. Like I said, it's a 12-hour day. And so I'm exhausted. I've been on my feet all day. And it's like, dinner time, I'm starting to, well, after lunch, I was already losing steam because I needed to eat and I hadn't really sat down. Like, it was a lot going on. Like we didn't get a lot of prep done because there was a lot that needed to be done. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's broken in the store. So we were behind on everything. Like, it was just a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. And I was like, all right, well, the only thing I kept telling myself was, you just got to get through it. It's not going to change. Being upset about it is not going to change. And the way that you deal with those situations is going to benefit you in the long run. And it's going to be more beneficial for you to, like I said, keep some certain things in your pocket. Now, if you are being like harassed or something at your job, like sexually harassed, like I would definitely try to make sure that those types of things are documented. But as far as like people being like lazy and people not really doing their job correctly, that's not a time for you to start coaching people unless you are in the position to do so. What I would say to do is do what you can do. Show up for you. Do what you're asked to do and do it well. And those people, I promise y'all, every single time, it may not happen as quickly as you think it should, but these people fall off eventually, because these people will eventually be seen for who they truly are and what they truly do. Okay? Like, one thing that I've learned over time is that people will end up revealing themselves. And I've said that multiple times on this channel. Like, you got to let people reveal themselves and who they are. A lot of people pretend that they are something that they're not. A lot of people pretend that they're, that they're on top of it and that they know what they're doing and that they're confident, but really they're insecure. Really, some people don't care, especially in job settings. They don't really care about what they're doing. Like me, I care about how I'm presented no matter what company I work for, whether I work for myself or I work for someone else. I like how I'm being represented. I don't like going to no building and just standing around doing nothing. I don't like, the miscommunication and not getting, calling off all the time. And because if I signed up to do a job, I'm going to do my job. Period. Point blank, period. And you'll feel so much freer not carrying all that nonsense with you. And I know it'd be annoying, because it's like when you got to work with certain people, especially them folks that are lazy, and it's like you got to do your job. Like, it's like I still have to do my job and I have to kind of pick up that person's slack. I would say don't overextend yourself. Just do what you can. And wherever they fall behind at, and if someone comes and asks you like, hey, what happened? The only thing that you can say is, well, I did what I could do. Talk to them. Okay, I'm not saying nothing else. I did what I could do. You're going to have to talk to them and ask them what was up with that. Period. That's where you got to go with this stuff. Like, and I promise y'all, especially going forward, like all 2026, like, especially with the state our world is in right now, like there's a lot of people dying. There's a lot of people going hungry. There's a lot of people going homeless right now, especially in the United States. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on, and it's really heavy. For those that are empathic, like, you can feel it even when you wake up. Sometimes I feel like some of us might be having anxiety and like panic attacks, and you're like, nothing's even happening, and it's just you're feeling other people's energy. You feel things very deeply. Like, people are really going through it right now. That's why it's so important for you to try to stay grounded as much as you can. And that's why I'm saying, like, don't go into these jobs, telling people how you feel about them. Like, let them believe whatever they want to believe. You go in there, you do your job, you do your best, and you go home. Because the extra stress with everything that's going on in this world, the extra stress is not even worth it. Like, these jobs aren't even worth it. Because it's like, these jobs will fire you in a heartbeat. They'll fire you in a heartbeat. There's a ton of people right now who are getting laid off. I heard Amazon done laid off a ton of people. Like, you could have a job today and not have one tomorrow. Like, at my last job, I remember there were times where they were doing cuts because of money, and we were coming in and they were waiting for people at the door. They didn't even have the courtesy to call these people at home and tell them, hey, I'm just letting you know that we're letting you go because of cutbacks. Don't come in today. They let people come into the building. And at that job, we had to come through our dock area, because it's, we were a shipping company, or we were a charter company, so we had planes and stuff. So we had a dock, that would load the planes and stuff like that. The employees had to come through that area, right? So people would come through there, and the door going into the where the office spaces were, they had people waiting for them right there, and they would be like, hey, come this way with me, and they would bring them to the front, and there's a door there that going into our FBO, kind of like the airport, and then behind the certain doors you had to have, a key card to get in, because we're an airport. And they were taking people into the conference room in the front and telling them that they were letting them go and taking their badge, so they couldn't go back. They couldn't even go to their desk and clear it out. Like, I watched that happen twice at, from at that job. One in 20, the end of 2018, I want to say, when I first started working there. Or like I first got hired in, and then I think the very next year, or in 2020, right before, like right around COVID, they let go a whole bunch of people because of COVID. So I remember when, during COVID, it sounds like it was so long ago, oh my God. But when a whole bunch of people were losing their jobs, and it's like, we're in a whole pandemic, like, and that's what I'm saying, like, if you're blessed enough to have income right now, to have a job, just go in that place and do your work and leave. Don't take none of this stuff with you. Don't tell them people how you feel about them. Like I said, keep it kind and keep it cordial and keep it pushing with folks, because at the end of the day, like, you can, and like I said, like, you gonna get annoyed and stuff with people, because yes, it's very annoying when you work with people who don't work. It's like, what are we here for? What did you come here for today? I will never understand a person who goes to a job and just stands around all day. I will never, and I don't know how some of them people keep their jobs. I really don't get it. You know, I don't understand. But it's not your place to understand them people. And like I said, them people gonna fuck around and find out one day. They will. It's inevitable. You can't go around not putting in real work, because I promise y'all, like, a lot of y'all don't understand, like, when you leave certain situations, like, I've told y'all before, like, you're the standard, like, you change the way that people feel about certain things, and like when they look at you, you just leave a different type of impression. Like, a lot of people are not expecting that. Because, one thing, like I said in my interview with with one of the hiring managers, was like, I told her about my leadership experience, and I told her, I've always told my employees in the past, like, the only difference between me and you is I have more responsibility than you. We literally will do the same exact job. I will never ask you to do something that I would not do myself. Period. I would never ask you to go and do something that I would not go and do myself. So if I ask you to do something, I would absolutely go do it myself, but I'm asking you to do it because I'm delegating the task. And it's like, I don't mind doing the cleaning over here and mopping the floors over. I don't mind doing that. That's part of the job, isn't it? So it's like, and people be shocked when they see me doing certain things, because they've seen other people be like, they too good, and it's like, bro, it's a job, bro. It's part of the job. We work in a kitchen, like, we got to keep this place clean. I refuse to work in a dirty ass place. Period. I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna sit here and let this place be disgusting. Absolutely not. I will not. I'm gonna make sure it's clean in here. I'm gonna go sweep up this floor because it looks a mess. Like, I'm gonna go over here and wipe this stuff down because I don't like the way it looks. That's just me. And I'm gonna keep doing it every single time. But be yourself. But don't get too invested. Don't get too invested. Invest your energy and your time into your personal matters, whether that be your family, whether that be a business that you're trying to grow, whether that be your social media platforms, or whatever side projects that you do. If you have ADHD, you probably have several projects going on. I'm reading like several books all at the same time right now. Like, put your energy into that, because when you're spending so much time stressing over other people, stressing over what other people are doing and how it's affecting you, there's nothing, you can't control nothing outside of you. You can't control them people. You can't control what they do. You can't control how they react, how they approach situations. You don't control any of that. You don't control any of that. The only thing that you can control is you. So just focus on you, and you're gonna win in the end. That's a win. That's a win in itself. Focusing on yourself and not worrying about what other people do. Like I said, yeah, certain things people do, especially at jobs, that affects you. It's like, damn, like, because this person don't know how to do X, Y, and Z, they're slowing me down. Yeah, that happens sometimes. That happens, and you just got to be like, you know what? I just got to push through this. And then when it's all said and done, by the time you get off, by the time you clock out, you just sit there and be like, yeah, well, it's done now. Ain't no sense in there is no sense in carrying that shit around with you. There's no sense in doing that. Just move forward. All right. Keep it pushing and keep that shit in your pocket. Don't tell people. Don't be going around telling people like, well, I just think that you could be doing. Nope. Don't tell them. Don't coach people, especially people who don't want to be coached. Don't go around telling people how you feel about them. Don't be going around, letting people know like, I don't like this person, and don't start the gossip trains and all of that, because people love to hear negative shit and love to stir the pot. So keep yourself out of the drama and just keep it pushing, y'all. But I love y'all. I don't know who that message was for, but I hope that helps somebody. This is one of the biggest lessons that I've learned over time. Like, I'm trying to save y'all from having to deal with really weird ass people. Because when people can't figure you out, oftentimes they end up having to leave you alone because they start telling on themselves. Or they start trying to compete with you, and then it makes it even more entertaining. So, but I love y'all. It's your girl, K Divine. I'll see y'all later. Bye.